If you follow my social media, you may know that when I first played Ghost of Tsushima, I very quickly wrote it off as Far Cry meets Assassin's Creed for weebs. And in a way, I was right. When you start talking about the gameplay, it's open world with enemy encampments, and you clear them out while using stealth, and then open action once you're caught with multiple collectibles and abilities. Yet, I am surprised to see Sucker Punch has taken this once stale formula and breathed new life into it. With every gameplay reveal leading up to its release, I was certain that this game would be another Days Gone. Another big open world that claimed innovation, yet did next to nothing to progress the medium, and oh boy, could I have not missed the mark more. Have you ever been reverse catfish? Get hit up by a 2 or 3 only to have a 9 show up with a 30 rack in tow? This game must be one of the closest things to perfect I've seen in ages, and take that statement with the massively implied grain of salt it has. I do have complaints, but they are far and few between, and to the point that I was searching for things to bitch about because no one wants to see a grown man lick something's balls as hard as I'm about to. So let's get something out of the way first. I will not be talking about the graphics. But that does not mean I won't speak as to how beautiful this game is. If you're making a title in this generation and its graphics aren't looking good, you're doing something seriously wrong. Gorgeous graphics, though, are not what makes this game beautiful. The differing environments as you explore the island, the vibrant colors that adopt the image of feudal Japan, is what makes this game beautiful. But while it has an image, it allows itself to differ depending on where you are on the map. To the gorgeous colors of the different flower fields in the south, to the foggy marshes of the coast, the raised villages and forests in the snowy mountains of the north. It near perfectly encapsulates what we know of the land and time period that we walk in the game, but also allows the story to tread new ground as to not be disrespectful to dramatizing history of actual people. The only thing this game holds true to actual history is that in the late 14th century, the Mongols attempted an invasion of Japan, using Tsushima as a stepping stone. When invaded, the Jito of the island conducted a disastrous counterattack despite only having 80 men. And this is where the similarities end. The game depicts the leader of the island, who in real life was named So Sukekuni of Clan So, as Lord Shimura, but in real life no clan exists under the name Shimura, while the playable character is named Lord Sakai, whose clan does exist in real life to this day. However, they have no ties whatsoever to the island of Tsushima. Can you tell I did my homework on this one? Yeah, this game isn't trying to pull that Kingdom Come Deliverance bullshit on you. No history degree needed here to know what the fuck is going on. You play through the invasion sequence where the villain is strongly established, and traits between the two cultures are immediately laid bare. The samurai have their code of honor, deviation from which is shameful, and the Mongols are win at whatever cost. After the failed attack on the Mongols' position on the beach, Sakai, fresh from getting his shit pushed in, is rescued and gets his sword back. As you go to rescue your uncle from main antagonist Khotun Khan, you proceed to royally get your shit pushed in and then thrown off a bridge. After miraculously surviving in a way only possible in video games and bad action movies, you proceed to start the game proper. Now, this first part does many things exceptionally, starting with plot establishment and central conflicts pertaining to the Ghost of Tsushima. If you think the main conflict of the story is between that of the samurai and invading Mongols, you would be understandably mistaken. The main conflict of the story is that between abiding by the honor code of the samurai, represented through uncle/daddy figure Lord Shimura, and doing what is necessary to save their people and island, despite how tradition might label it as dishonorable, shown through the supporting character, total badass, and not crowbarred in token requirement love interest, Yuna. In Sakai's attempts to rescue his uncle in the first act, there's a very apparent internal struggle within himself on where doing what is necessary becomes a line crossed. Cutscenes are used at appropriate moments to reinforce this, like when Shimura had him execute a would-be assassin, making a point of the dishonor of not killing your enemy face to face. To help free Yuna's brother, you're forced to begin to act stealthily and use backstabbing attacks to subdue your enemies, where this cutscene helps the image from your surrogate father that there is only one way. This carries through the entire game and keeps you on one path, not sacrificing story for the sake of branching narrative that most games only place to require you to play the game twice. On that note, one of the many things in most games within what I will now be calling the token blandness genre suffer from is unnecessary padding. Ghost of Christmas Past does not suffer from this in the same way. Main quests do not seem overdone or repetitive and strictly exist to establish critical plot points and character building required to carry the emotional weight of the story. And while gameplay is unavoidably similar during side quests, it is the carefully crafted story and narrative that carries it through. For once in a token blandness game, I played through to learn what happened next. I went to the next objective marker to learn more about the world, not because it's just what the game wanted me to do. If cosmetics are your thing, they're there in abundance, but the game doesn't put these things at the forefront. And they're there if you just want to do them. Furthermore, I never felt that I needed to grind experience before I began the next mission. As abilities unlocked, they never altered the gameplay on a level that I wanted to grind just to get it. And while quite a few were picked up and never used, looking at you, stupid throw 3 kunai, waste my fucking resources, stupid piece of shit, many were a welcome addition each time I added the ability, and benefited the leveling combat system immensely. And man, the combat in this game is so much fun. It's a fresh combination of God of War light and heavy mix-up, along with Souls-like dodging and parrying abilities. Ghost of the Last Samurai improves on this system with its stances system. As you take down and observe enemy leaders in the world, you unlock different stances that change up your fighting style depending on the enemy you're facing. And the controls to switch your styles up is quick and effective and mostly never breaks the flow of combat. What does break the flow of combat is no matter your difficulty, whenever you attack an enemy that your current stance is not effective against, the game will stop everything to say, "Oh, hi, don't want to insult your intelligence or ruin your experience, but we wanted to let you know that there's a much better way to play this game your way, so please open up your stance menu and change it. And to make sure you don't have a hard time, we aren't going to let you play until you do so." Massively immersion and flow breaking. Shouldn't happen. Sucker punch. Fix it. The second is the lack of a lock-on function. I applaud games that attempt to steer away from the overcrowded HUD system. And this game did a great job doing that with its trackpad usage and using the wind to guide you. But when I'm fighting numerous enemies, it becomes very hard to keep track of who I'm fighting, along with fighting the analog sticks to keep the enemy in my field of view. If you're going to program the attacks to the shape buttons, that means you're effectively surrendering use of the right analog stick during combat. If you're going to make us need to use both sticks in combat, the attack button should probably get reprogrammed to the R1, R2. That being said, the combination of different abilities along with all your different armors having different functions means this game does go to a play your way mindset that I only find one way to break. Being in combat does not stop you from changing your armor. So there's nothing stopping me from walking up to a base in my clan Sakai armor so I can get 5 free kills out the gate, then switching to the samurai armor so that I have the highest damage reduction, then switching to the Ronin armor to run away and hide more effectively when shit goes tits up. If this was intentional, I do feel that this detracts from the challenge of the game, which if you're having difficulty, you shouldn't be resulting to gameplay gimmicks. You should just lower the difficulty. Aside from the tiny issues I've highlighted, Ghost of Two Towers offers one of the most engaging and immersive open world experiences I've had in a long time, with strong character development, sympathetic characters, and an ending that carries haunting emotional weight that I haven't felt in a long time. Too bad they fucked it up by making you choose between two endings that don't make a lick of difference either way. What does break the flow of combat is no matter what your difficulty, whenever you attack an enemy that your current sense is not fuck.